y'all, come look at this.
I like this. This is cute. Before the video does start, guys, I want to let you know that I'm going to be doing a merch drop inside of Roblox here pretty soon in the next week or two. Along with the merch drop, I'm going to be releasing the Bucket Hat Crew little logo here as well that we're going to be applying onto the merch. It's going to be in short sleeves, long sleeves, sweatshirts, and I'm going to make the prices as low as I can, which I think is about 10 Robux, and this will only be available for a limited time. So stay tuned for that, guys. What's up, Bucket Hat Crew? My name's JMT, and welcome to another Escape the Darkness video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the new killer that's coming to the game, and a lot of other features as well that were described in their Discord post. Kicking it off right away, I want to talk about this new killer before we even go over the other things that were in the Discord post that I think a lot of people skipped over because the whole Tinkerer was pretty much the entire section of this update. And for those who are trying to join the game and actually find the Tinkerer, he's not like actually inside of an update inside of the game. It's in the PTB, which is the public test build for people to go ahead and join inside the lobby, and then you can try out the killer there. Okay, he's not actually released to the full game yet, but in this update we can go ahead and join in that PTB and we can test out the new Tinkerer, which I did. He has a lot of perks here, a lot of things to talk about, so let's get right into it. So first, let's look at the description of this killer, of what the creators of Escape the Darkness had to say. They said, with this killer, we wanted to up the ante and bring something completely unique to the roster. The Tinkerer is built around shutting down survivor tactics and forcing players out of otherwise advantageous situations. Using brutal poison domes to shut down large areas and a motion tracker spanning the entire map, this new addition brings a whole other meaning to map control. So you guys know with the Scarecrow that was released to the game, we were talking about map control and recon and being able to cover pretty much the entire map. It doesn't matter what objective was going on. The Tinkerer can also do the same thing. Without actually like moving to different directions around the map like the Scarecrow can, the Tinkerer can actually shoot his poison dome across the map to an objective. So let's talk about the Poison Dome. The Poison Dome can target any active task in the level and deliver a toxic storm that slows and visually hinders any survivors inside of it. When the Poison Dome is deployed, the targeted objective becomes temporarily blocked until the dome is fully deployed. This effect lasts for 30 seconds or until the task becomes either completed or the current stage is finished. The Poison Dome has a cooldown of 60 seconds. So basically with this ability, the Tinkerer could be on the other side of the map, and let's say the active task going on in the game right now is repairing generators. They're on that stage of the tasks. Someone is repairing a generator on the other side of the map. The Tinkerer can use his Poison Dome ability to shoot it all the way across the map and hit that generator, and therefore it will block off that generator and it will create this huge toxic little gas bubble, and they can't work on that generator until that little bubble is fully deployed. And while you're inside of that bubble, you get slowed down by quite a bit. This is map control 100%. Let's say if you were attacking survivors on one side of the map, getting them off the objective, and you turn around and you see that another task is being worked on, you can shoot that thing across the map and it will cancel the objective. The bubble will start to expand and you could actually get to the other side of the map before it fully finishes, so they can't even work on the objective anymore. And if they are inside the toxic bubble, there's a very high chance that you're probably going to get a one hit off of them until they start to sprint after you hit them. This toxic gas bubble, when playing as the Tinkerer, I was mainly using it just to control those objectives, because a lot of people, when they actually see the gas bubble, when they first saw the Tinkerer, they got out of there really quick because I'm guessing they thought that you were losing HP or something inside the toxic gas bubble, but that's not the case. Okay, it just slows you down. It does no health effect, no health damage at all. But yeah, that's the Poison Dome, and this thing is awesome. It does last for 30 seconds, which is a long time inside of Escape the Darkness. 30 seconds is a long time in like any type of game like this, but each stage, of course, is lasting for minutes, so you do got to use it to your advantage when you have a cooldown of 60 seconds, that is. Let's talk about his other ability, because I bet when I mentioned this inside of the Discord post, that kind of sparked a lot of people's minds saying, what, a motion tracker can cover the entire map? Hang on. So let's look at the description for the motion tracker here. When you're holding it, a green wave is sent outwards every 4 seconds, and it reveals all moving survivors in the entire level for a short duration. So it does cover the entire map, and it only tracks people when they're moving. If someone's like sitting there getting a chest opened, it won't actually track them. Or if someone's sitting there doing self-heal, it won't actually track them. This only tracks people for their motion. That's why it's called a motion tracker. So if someone is moving around the map, multiple people, doesn't matter, it will track them and it will show a green ping moving along with them as well, but it does only last 4 seconds, what it really helps with is just letting you know where people are in a general location. And you can move while holding this motion tracker. Your speed is decreased by a little bit, okay? You're not as fast as you were if you're holding out your melee weapon, but while you have this motion tracker out, you can still move. You are still movable, so you can actually walk and use this thing. Moving on, let's talk about the 3 perks that the Tinkerer brings. So the first one is called Entrapment. The description for this is kill the hope of your victims by challenging their means of escape. So after attacking a survivor, doors within 70 studs become unusable for 20 seconds. And this perk has a cooldown of 50 seconds. So this perk actually works really well if someone's rotating inside the house that has 2 doors. Let's say if they enter the house and the one door is closed at the other end and you hit them while you're in the house, they can't use that door to escape at the other end of the house. They actually have to turn around and get back outside of the house. Because when you do attack a survivor, doors within 70 studs become unusable. It pretty much locks the door for survivors and they can't do anything. This helps out a bunch for people trying to rotate inside of houses, if they do have doors that is, because they're going to be locked for that 20-second period time when you do actually go ahead and hit someone. The next perk he has is called Severe Pressure, and the description for this is slow down the progress of others, applying pressure across the map. So when a new objective begins, the task furthest from you becomes blocked for 50 seconds. So this killer so far inside this video is huge, huge, huge pressure applied, okay? Not just controlling the entire map and even reconning the entire map, but applying that pressure, which is huge inside of a game like this. So when a new objective begins, the task furthest from you becomes blocked for 50 seconds. The reason this is kind of a little bit iffy is because when a new objective does begin, the survivor is going to have to prepare and actually get items to go ahead and complete the objective. So if it's going to be blocked for 50 seconds, there's a huge chance that they're not even going to be working on that task for the 50 seconds amounted. And it's the one furthest from you as well. So if you are chasing survivors and there's no one on the other side, it's like no one's even going to use that objective in the first place. But it does apply some pressure if someone is over there trying to stay away from the killer when they're rotating and trying to do a certain objective by themselves, and it's going to be blocked. So that might be the way to go ahead and actually apply pressure. It'll have to bring in those survivors that are staying far away to bring them in the middle a little bit or even closer to you to do those objectives. And the last perk here is called Heavy Air. And the description for this is the darkness emanates off you, pulling the life out of your surroundings. So survivors within 50 studs of you will begin coughing, and this effect does not apply to trapped survivors as well as survivors who are crouching or standing still. And I actually heard about this, talking about it a little bit in the Discord. The reason they had it where it won't affect anyone who is crouching or standing still, because if someone's trying to self-heal or if someone is just not moving and they're coughing, like that is insanely OP. So that's the reason why it doesn't affect those people who are crouching or standing still, especially people who are using the ninja class, which I see very few people using it, but people using the ninja class, this killer, if it would affect people who are crouching or standing still, would just completely destroy the ninja class. So, and it doesn't apply to trapped survivors either, because if you are trapped after being killed, the killer doesn't actually know which cabin you're inside of. So if you were to start coughing while you were trapped, then that would give the killer the advantage of actually knowing where you were, and he could definitely camp that position. They're actually talking about camping in the post a little bit, so we'll get into that. But yeah, so basically the Heavy Air perk helps out a bunch in actually letting you know where people are, if they are moving or even going to different tasks, that is. So that is the Tinkerer Killer. Everything to come with the Tinkerer Killer. His description, his perks, his abilities. It's a very heavy applied pressure killer, and it's going to bring a huge change to the game because we haven't seen anything like this in Escape the Darkness yet. A killer that actually applies an insane amount of pressure. So let's talk about some of the other things that they were mentioning inside of this post. They're talking about some rescue changes. Here's what they say. Along with the new content, we also wanted to begin our journey back towards quality of life and addressing many of our core features. One of these features in mind is our rescues. Our new set of changes are aimed to make camping a useless strategy and deter killers from doing it without being heavily punished. So rescues, by the way, are when people go ahead and actually take people out of the little cabins when they are downed. When a killer comes close to a rescue, the progress will slow down, coming to a full halt depending on the distance the killer is to the rescue. Here's a dev note. Not giving a clear point where the rescue timer pauses stops killers from finding the sweet spot, making it more difficult to sit around the perimeter and wait for rescues. It seems like they're trying to make rescues more difficult, right? Because if a killer comes close to you when you're doing a rescue, the progress is going to slow down and then it will come to a full halt depending on the distances from the killer to the rescuer. So I think they're going to change the rescuing and make it a little bit easier for the killer to go ahead and actually catch those people who keep rescuing others. So they are making a big rescue change to the game. So that's very cool. And here's a future addition they have. We plan to keep this PTB live throughout the week, and we will be continuing to tease the remaining content for the coming week, including our new map, which is currently in the works. So this isn't a whole update yet, that they are releasing. Right now, I'm just kind of letting you guys know what the Tinkerer is. They are going to be releasing an update in the near future that's going to have a new map, this new rescue change, and more new content coming as well. So guys, be prepared for that. There's a bunch of stuff coming to Escape the Darkness in the next update. Be ready. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me. My name's JMT, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.